Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. In today's video I'll be showcasing with you what I've been wearing over the past week and also sharing with you some new favorites that have been added to my collection. This is going to be a mix of fragrances that were sent to me and fragrances that I've purchased with my own money, as well as a few favorites that I've had for quite a while that I've been reincorporating into my collection. If this is your first time watching this channel, hello, my name is Anya. I love fragrances and I talk about them every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I am currently experimenting with the concept of doing videos 5 days a week. That will be from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So if you're interested in seeing those videos, comment down below and also engage with this video so I know that you do want to see that reoccurring content. I definitely do want to be publishing more videos for you, but I need to know that you're interested in seeing those as well. So if you're interested, definitely let me know. Other than that, I like to talk about a mix of really affordable scents and more niche fragrances. I truly believe that you do not need to spend a lot of money to smell good, but that there is an audience for people who really do want to smell niche, and that's where the higher price tag comes in. But I do like to talk about more affordable niche fragrances on this channel as well. So if you're interested, do stick around for that. Okay, so first up I have this lovely fragrance by Pernoire. This has been a fragrance that's been hyped up so much. A lot of people have been talking about it on social media, and I was very curious to try it out for myself because it was so hyped up. And if you're interested, I did do a dedicated review of this fragrance and some other Pernoire perfumes in this past week. So if you're interested, definitely check that out. But just to give you a quick recap, this is a very sweet rum perfume with top notes of rum, cardamom, and quince, and then a mid of praline, tobacco, and tonka, and then a base of vanilla, osmanthus, and cedarwood. This fragrance to me is sweet, but it's not too sweet. It's different than any other kind of like boozy tobacco fragrance that I've smelled, in the sense that it's not too focused on the alcoholic nature of that rum, but it's more focused on the sweetness of the tobacco. This perfume to me smells more chocolatey than anything else. I do realize that it has all those other notes that I just listed, but to me it's different than some of the more boozy fragrances that I've encountered, in the sense that it's less boozy and it's more focused on that sweet kind of vanilla aspect, and it plays around with the notes listed in a very interesting way. Whenever I smell this fragrance, I definitely do get more chocolate rather than anything else. This to me smells like chocolate vanilla kind of type fragrance. It's so beautiful and it's absolutely amazing. I really do love it, and I think if you're interested in gourmands but you want something a little bit different, you want something a little bit more luxurious, this is definitely one to try. And I absolutely think this could work for both men and women. It's very much unisex, and I really do love it. It's not my absolute favorite from the line. I would say my absolute favorite fragrance from Pernoire is still Kama. That is a stunning masterpiece of a fragrance, and I definitely do think that this comes to a close second. And I think if you're interested in gourmands, you should definitely check this one out. And they do have it included in their discovery set. Their discovery set is only about 40 euros, and you can save 20% with my code ANYADK in all caps. So if you're interested in, again, saving 20% on the discovery set, highly recommend you use that code. It is affiliated, but keep in mind I've worked with this brand for quite some time now, and my love and my passion for this brand is totally based on the fact that their fragrances are truly top tier quality and absolutely beautiful. So yeah, Ottimo by Pernoire, I've been wearing this one a lot, and I will say my favorite layering combination for this fragrance has been to layer it with Navitus Venom of Love. This is a beautiful fragrance as well. It's a few years old. Oh my gosh, this smells amazing. It smells like chocolate covered cherry. So think chocolate covered cherry with a fragrance that's boozy and leans chocolatey. These two, perfect combination. I've been wearing these together so much and I absolutely love this. This is a perfect combination for fall. And actually, let me just pull up the notes for Venom of Love so I can give you the full listing of what this smells like. This perfume has top notes of cherry, liquor, and bitter almond, a mid of cherry, chocolate, Turkish rose, and Egyptian jasmine, and then a base of almond, amberwood, vanilla, and whipped cream. Again, to put it very simply, this smells to me like chocolate-covered cherries. So, chocolate-covered cherries is this fragrance paired with a boozy, beautiful, chocolatey vanilla coming from Ottimo. This beautiful combination. I absolutely love these fragrances together. Okay, so next up is a beautiful fragrance by Experimental Perfume Club. This is called Sable Gris. I love this perfume. This is such an interesting fragrance, and I recently had the pleasure of attending one of Experimental Perfume Club's blending masterclasses. They actually came here to the DC area and they hosted several classes, and I attended one of them, and I was so excited to be able to see the team from Experimental Perfume Club again. I previously met them at Essence, and it was wonderful to reconnect with them. And I actually did film an interview with Emmanuelle, and you can check that out on YouTube Shorts and on Instagram, where I talked to her about this very fragrance. And I specifically wanted to showcase this fragrance because I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it, but it's a fragrance that I personally was very much drawn to because it completely coincides with my personal tastes and what I look for in, or what I'm looking for right now in a new fragrance to add to my collection. And I absolutely have been loving it, and this is one of those perfumes I've been wearing over and over and over again. This was gifted to me, but keep in mind I did choose this fragrance. This was the perfume that I wanted to wear for myself. I wanted to experience this, and it did not disappoint. This is an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. So let's go into the scent breakdown. So in general, we have a bunch of notes here. It's a very complex perfume, but it's done in a very approachable way. So this perfume contains notes of cardamom, oak moss, sandalwood, ginger, and turmeric, cinnamon, ambroxan, tobacco, leather, and musk, and vetiver, as well as pink pepper. This perfume is incredibly luxurious smelling. You absolutely smell the leather, but it's done in a very smooth and luxurious way. It doesn't smell very animalic at all. It just smells very smooth, luxurious, and absolutely unisex. I think anyone can wear this. It's an effortlessly beautiful and slightly edgy perfume. It has a sweetness to it that I think comes from the tobacco, but it's not overt. And I love how this is a soft, spicy perfume. And to be honest, I've been wearing this almost every single day this past week, ever since I received this perfume, and I've been obsessed with it. This is an absolutely gorgeous scent, and I think I've been making like a little bit of a baby dent in here. I'm like up to here, and I've had this for a very short period of time, so that just tells you how much I love it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It gives me like edgy but very effortless. And in terms of longevity, I would say this is not a beast mode fragrance by any means. It's more of like a moderate performer. I do try to spray this on my clothes and on my hair to make sure it can last throughout the day. But it is a perfume that people can pick up, and I do love this interpretation of leather because it's a very elegant way of doing leather. And I should probably do a video sometime in the future talking about some of my favorite leather fragrances, because I do think leather is a very underrated note. A lot of people shy away from leather, but I think leather is such a fun way to experiment with like a little bit of an edgier side to perfumery, and it's very effortless and very beautiful. And I absolutely love this scent. Sable Gris, definitely recommend it. I do think it's one of the most underrated fragrances that I've encountered from Experimental Perfume Club specifically. But if you are someone who's interested in a smooth, elegant fragrance with a little bit of like a light spiciness to it, and you also want to experiment more with leather notes, this is an absolutely must-have fragrance. You have to try this out. Sable Gris, I love this perfume. Another fragrance I have here is by J.U.S. This is called Spicy de Lice. I've had this on my wish list for quite some time now, and oh my gosh, I love this perfume. Think fresh, spicy. That's what this fragrance embodies. This perfume has notes of ginger, cardamom, and pink pepper at the top, a mid of cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg, and davana, and then a base of vanilla and amberwood. Personally, I smell a beautiful light interpretation of the cloves and nutmeg. I definitely picked that up quite prominently throughout this fragrance, but it's done in a very smooth way, and there definitely is a strong vanilla base, but it's not an overtly sweet vanilla. It definitely leans extremely androgynous, unisex. I think anyone can wear this. I would say in terms of longevity, this is a lighter form of a fragrance. It's definitely not beast mode. I'd say it's more moderate. So if you are someone who wants to experiment with these notes, but you don't necessarily want a fragrance that's going to be super in your face, this is a really good one. And they recently did come out with these smaller 1 ounce bottles. So I believe these 1 ounce bottles cost around $140, which is pretty affordable, especially for a brand of this quality. So yeah, definitely recommend you check them out. Of course, they have larger bottles as well, but I'm really glad that they came out with these smaller ones because that makes their fragrances a lot more accessible, and I do think they're rather cute. So I'm looking forward to experimenting more with J.U.S fragrances and trying more of their fragrances. This one was sent to me, but I have sampled a few of their other fragrances, and I'm very much looking forward to exploring the brand further. And I will say this, I love pairing experimental perfume clubs Sable Gris and J.U.S Spicy de Lice together. I do think they're quite different, even though they do share similar notes. Sable Gris to me leans more towards like the tobacco and the leather, even though it has some spicier notes, but this one definitely leans into the spicy aromatic nature of the cloves, nutmeg, and yeah, vanilla. This to me is more spicy. This to me is more leathery. So I do think they pair together quite well. But just so you know, if you want to choose either one of these fragrances, they are a little bit different. This one focuses more on the spiciness. This one focuses more on the leathery aspect. Okay, so next up is a brand new fragrance in my collection. This is one that I actually received just today. So keep in mind, I cannot give you a full idea of my experience with this fragrance. I can only give you my first impressions, but I can say my first impressions of this are very positive. This is by Parfumeur. This is called Iris Cartagena, and this is their fragrance in the extrait de parfum concentration. So this is supposed to be their line that has a stronger concentration of perfume oil, and this smells rather beautiful. I think this is a really beautiful fragrance, especially for the fall time. So let's pull up the notes. I can tell you what this is supposed to smell like. This is supposed to be a woody cacao fragrance with notes of cocoa, rum, mandarin, and petitgrain at the top, a mid of iris, vanilla, sandalwood, and cedar, and then a base of papyrus, sugarcane, coffee, and vetiver. This smells very interesting because you do have those gourmand aspects, but I feel like the iris here adds a little bit of luxury to it. So often, in my opinion, I think sometimes the combination of vanilla, cacao, and rum can be a little bit too typical. I love those fragrance notes together, but sometimes those perfumes can lean a little bit too typical. Those notes can be a little bit repetitive. But if done in a special way, if you incorporate different notes into that kind of, into those notes, it can be very beautiful and very niche and very unique. And in this case, they've incorporated iris and papyrus into this scent pyramid, and it smells rather beautiful. So this perfume, it smells gourmand, and you definitely do get those gourmand notes, but it has a powderiness to it. It has like a little bit of something different to it. And I do believe that does come from the iris and the papyrus notes specifically. Again, I have to wear this fragrance a little bit more in order to give you my final review of it, or my more informed review. But so far, I really, really like this. I think this is quite beautiful. So Iris Cartagena 502 by Parfumeur. This is one of their newest releases. If you like powdery fragrances, like powdery iris perfumes with a bit of a gourmand element, this is absolutely beautiful, and I'm very happy to have this in my collection, and I look forward to wearing it more. Okay, so next up is a brand new fragrance release by Lease. I happened to meet Alyssa and Leslie from Lease here in the DC area. They actually did an event at Ariel Shoshana where they launched this fragrance as well as another perfume called Shoo Shoo, and I very much found myself drawn to this particular perfume, which is why I ended up purchasing it, and I've been wearing it all week, and I have received compliments on it. It's a very unique fragrance, and if you want to learn more details about this perfume and their other new launch called Shoo Shoo, you should definitely check out my YouTube shorts. I did an entire interview with them, and they very generously were able to explain both fragrances in that video. So I did kind of like a, because YouTube right now, you can't do more than 1 minute per video, so I did 2 shorts, one talking about this fragrance, the other one talking about Shoo Shoo. So if you're interested, definitely check out my YouTube shorts so you can watch those videos and hear directly from the founders themselves about these fragrances. But I definitely was very much drawn to Of True Minds, and I think a lot of people were very much drawn to Shoo Shoo, and I think Shoo Shoo is a wonderful fragrance. It's a gourmand, lemony, zesty vanilla perfume. It's beautiful, right? But this one to me was definitely the one that was my fragrance. Like this has a beautiful suede note, and it has like some other notes as well that I'm going to go into, but this is like an edgy perfume, but it's a very bright fragrance at the same time. It's not as heavy hitting as you might expect. It being a suede fragrance is actually very light. So if you're someone who is sensitive to fragrance, if you want something that's lighter, this is fantastic. I actually do find myself overspraying this perfume and spraying it on my clothes in order to obtain that longevity. And this is one of those fragrances that's very effortless. I have actually received compliments on it. Even when I don't necessarily think about this perfume, I have received compliments on it when I've been wearing it. It's beautiful. I love it. It's amazing. So let's get into the notes. So this has notes of amaretto, nutmeg, suede, orris, benzoin, golden patchouli, and labdanum. At the release event that I attended, a few people actually said that on their skin this smelled like cherry, and my interpretation was not that. I still picked up the suede and labdanum over the kind of cherry interpretation, but since this has that note of amaretto can sometimes lean a little bit towards cherry. For me personally, I do not get the cherry interpretation. This to me is very much focused on that suede and labdanum. So if you're someone who wants a little bit of an edgier perfume, this is lovely, and this is a great way to kind of dip your toe into that kind of like edgy perfume without necessarily going for like a full beast mode animalic leather scent. If you want to experiment with the notes of leather, you should definitely check this out, because this is such a beautiful bright way of doing suede slash leather. It's amazing. I love this perfume. I've been wearing this so much, and they did sign my bottle, so this is going to be a keepsake for a very long time, but I'm very happy to have this in my collection. And I do think it pairs brilliantly with Sable Gris by Experimental Perfume Club. I've been wearing these together and I've been loving them. Yeah, they are slightly similar, but each different in their own way. Sable Gris is more aromatic. Of True Minds is more bright and zesty, but both of these together, such a winning combination. I've been obsessed with both of them. But that is pretty much it for this video. Those are all the fragrances that I've been wearing, all the fragrances I've been focused on for this past week. Let me know if there's anything that popped out at you. Is there anything that you are very interested in trying yourself? But yeah, thank you so much for watching till the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this and found this entertaining, and I'll see you next time. Bye.